So we are in trouble. And here's a very interesting statistics. Here's the death rate. These are opioid sales. So I'm not declaring war on the pharmaceutical industry, but I'm really trying, one of my goals in speaking about this is to show that there's a lot of money spent marketing these drugs, and there's a lot of money made marketing and selling these drugs. $1.5 billion for oxycodone in 2002. Pretty amazing. How do they do it? They advertise. I want to focus on my life, not my pain. So give me a drug to take away my pain, and then I'm fine. Industry has influenced education on opiates for chronic non-cancer pain. This is really the focus that I'm going to talk about for docs. But they basically told us that people who have pain don't get addicted. What? Why? Oh, they're taking it legitimately. So you're going to tell me that the brain I just showed you, that has an abnormality in the receptor site, is going to be able to tell if you're taking a drug prescribed by a doctor for a painful condition versus, that doesn't make sense. But that's what we were told. We were also told that we, doctors, are being mean. We're opiophobic. We don't want to give people adequate pain relief. So we're withholding pain treatment, good pain treatment for people. We're also told that opiates are safe and effective for chronic pain. Do you know how many long-term studies there are of opiate use in people for chronic pain? More than 90 days? Guess. 0. The standard of practice is there's no evidence for it. None. In fact, any study that looks at longer than 90 days says maybe it affects 30% of pain. And I'm going to tell you that I treat chronic pain without opioids, and most of the people I treat are better off the opioids. And last is that opiate therapy can be easily discontinued. Lie. These are almost impossible to come off of without serious medical intervention. Now, they based that first assertion that you can rarely get addicted. This is a study. Only 4 cases of addiction among 11,882 patients treated with opiates. It's Porter and Hicks, and it was cited in Google 693 times. So this looks like a pretty cool study. You want to see the study? This is it. It's a letter to the editor in 1980, and it said, I'm going to read it because it's so crazy. We examined our files currently in the hospital, 39,946 hospitals. So they have a good N. And they looked at the charts of 11,882 patients who received 1 narcotic preparation. There were only 4 cases of reasonably documented addiction in patients who had no history of addiction. You know how they documented it? They saw if the word addiction was in the chart. I mean, ridiculous. And this is the basis that their conclusion is circulated by drug companies and by other people who study this topic to say you can't get addicted. Now, if the incidence of addiction is 10 to 15% in the general population, how could it be any less in people who have chronic pain? And it's probably more. It's probably up to 25%. This is part of the, I'm on a little bit of a soapbox here, but this is a display at a pain conference in 2007, put on by OxyContin. And do you know about the JCHO, Joint Commission on Accreditation of Hospitals? It's an organization that anybody who does medical care has to get accredited by. So Carson, Tahoe, St. Mary's, any hospital, most clinics have to apply to the Joint Commission, pay them money, have them survey, and define what's good standard of practice. In 2000, I think they got together with the pharmaceutical industry and they said, hey, we're under-treating pain, so here's what we're going to do. Do you know what vital signs are? Vital signs are blood pressure, pulse, count, respiratory rate, and temperature. And now we have the 5th vital sign is pain. What's your pain score? How is that? How did that happen? Everybody, I had a doc come up to me last night and he said, you know, we have to ask every patient, every shift what their pain score is, and what are we going to do for them? We got to prescribe. They call me in the middle of the night to prescribe higher doses because their pain's 10 out of 10. So we are in deep trouble, and I think it was coercion with the pharmaceutical industry that caused that. So that's the end of the soapbox.